If this video gets to 1,000 likes, I will spend 1,000 Robux and join Build-A-Boat games on Roblox and see what's inside of them. So like the video right now. Today, we are going to be looking at the best boss fights ever in Build-A-Boat and ranking them from the top to the bottom and seeing which ones are the best in the game. And some of these boss fights you are still able to play to this day and unlock some crazy reward. Make sure you guys stay tuned and also like the video and subscribe. And without further ado, let's go ahead and hop straight into it. Also, I do send a gift to a viewer in every single video, so make sure to go ahead and subscribe, like the video, and watch throughout the entire video as well. I'm gonna hide a keyword on screen somewhere throughout the video, and if you see the keyword, go ahead and comment down below what it is, and I'm gonna pick someone for an item that way. Let's go ahead and hop into one of the first boss fights that I want to get into, and one of the first boss fights that Build-A-Boat's ever had. Make sure you stay tuned so you can see the boss fights that are still available, and let's go ahead and get into it. The Fabi Boss was one of the first ever boss fights to get added to Build-A-Boat, where you could play with an entire server to defeat Fabby the duck, and you guys might actually notice this boss. It does look familiar because it's been like a meme inside of Build-A-Boat for a long time. A bread on the ground as well that was used as obstacles. There are some very interesting obstacles in this boss fight. It did take absolutely forever to defeat. It took about like 40 players in my game to defeat this, I'm not gonna lie. And you guys can see the reward for actually defeating the Fabi Boss right here. This is the final screen, and this is what it actually did. And you get 25 pieces of bread for completing this, and you also get the Fabi plushie as well. We'll actually rate this secret and boss fight up higher on the list just because there was a giant secret to get into it. You had to find a key around the map, and this door would actually spawn in, and you actually had to open up this door with the key. These are the type of secrets that I miss inside of Build-A-Boat and that I hope come back to the game because it was so awesome. One very interesting thing I do want to mention about the Fabi Boss inside of the game is that it was actually added to the official game for a certain amount of time and for a brief amount of time as well. This was an exclusive quest that was only inside of the game for a short amount of time, and you guys can see right here that it loaded up on your plot, and it was all around a very awesome secret. And one thing that's very interesting about this is that players are still getting this boss fight to this day. Yes, you guys heard that right. Players are glitching in, or they're just cheating and playing the Fabi Boss and still able to get the bread item inside of the game. Take a look at this because this is super interesting. This YouTuber Jen the Hop was able to actually play the Fabi Boss fight. The quest officially works, and like everything works. You're actually able to get items out of this as well. I honestly have no idea how this is still inside of the game. Like, this was honestly crazy. Right here, you guys can see you get 100 gold and also 10 bread, and every time you walk across the bread, you get one as well. Important message from Skeleton right here. Literally, all it is a piece of bread. There's really nothing crazy to it other than it's kind of a collector's item. Probably will see the bread item return inside the future in a boss fight, but that leads me into the next one. And this boss fight, you guys have probably never even played before or haven't seen for a very long time. Let's go ahead and take a look. Next up, we are going to be going over the skeleton boss quest. This was a quest that you actually had to do that not a lot of people knew about, and you had to collect these torches around the map inside of the Halloween update of the Build-A-Boat Halloween event. You had to click on these torches that were scattered. It was kind of like a scavenger hunt. Guys, I'm telling you, like, Build-A-Boat used to have some insane secrets inside of the game. Clicking on every single one of these torches actually activated the skeleton boss fight, and I will say this is the scariest boss fight that's ever been added to the game. I'm not gonna lie. Once you actually completed everything, you had to click on this crystal ball that was behind the wall of Black Team, and you have to clear all your blocks as well. Once everything's all activated, you guys can see that this skeleton boss would actually throw hands. Like, he would genuinely throw hands, and you had to defeat him. Now, it was so dark out that it was almost impossible to see it, and it would teleport for just split seconds. This is by far the hardest boss fight in Build-A-Boat history, and I don't think we're ever gonna see this return, but there is a very cool secret about this boss fight. You were able to unlock Halloween thrusters, I should say, and also some other Halloween exclusive rewards. But there is a hidden secret inside inside of this boss fight that nobody really knows about. Check this out. Skeleton Hand actually came back to the game a few times that nobody really noticed. If you actually trick-or-treated at these houses that would spawn around the map inside of the Halloween updates, they give you candy, but there was like a 1 in 10 chance that a hand would come out of the house and grab you and make you oof every single time. And that hand is the exact same hand that was from the skeleton boss fight. So have we actually defeated the skeleton boss? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about it down below. We could be seeing it return because it would make sense considering how it's still actually inside of the game if you really think about it. Let's hop into the next boss fight. Coming up next, we have the pumpkin boss, and this took place a year after the skeleton boss came out to the game. There was a graveyard that you actually had to go into behind black team once again. You literally clicked on one of the jack-o'-lanterns and you got pushed into the ground. Now, this boss fight was actually meant to be completely in the dark, but we found ways to just put a portal inside of it and make it so we could see everything, so the boss fight was 10 times easier. I will say, if the lights were off the entire time, this would be like almost an impossible boss fight. And this is also, I believe, one of the first times we ever got the hand cannon inside of the game. And you guys can see right there, you get 10 pumpkins and also 50 gold for completing this boss fight. We can't forget to mention the spider boss that was inside of Build-A-Boat that we fought for 2 years. And we all pretty much know about the spider boss. I don't want to hop into it much at all, other than the rewards. You're able to actually get the boxing glove from this, Halloween harpoons, and also some gold, and I believe some candies by doing this boss fight. Y'all pretty much know about this boss, so like I said, we're not going to spend too much time on it. We're going to hop into the next one. So this next boss fight, you're actually able to do inside of the game right now, and play it for your own exclusive rewards. And I will say, guys, that this boss fight's actually pretty sick, and believe it or not, it's not actually inside the main Build-A-Boat game, but it still gives you Build-A-Boat rewards. Check this out. What you want to do for this boss fight is join the game Project Zeg made by Mr. Skeleton. Wait inside of the boss fight and make your way over to this portal right here. Once you actually go inside of the portal, go inside of the elevator and click the button. It'll then bring you up to this area, and you basically just have to go through the phases of the boss fight. Now, I actually really enjoy this boss fight because you're actually still able to do it, and it does give some pretty cool rewards. There's a big story behind it, and there's so many Easter eggs inside this game. So even when you're done playing the boss fight, there's still so much more to explore, so make sure you guys check it out. And the reward you actually get from completing this boss fight is once you complete it, join back to Build-A-Boat, you actually get yourself 3 Zeg plushies and also 500 gold. So it's a free reward, and you might as well just go do it. This next boss fight I want to get into is the Christmas Nutcracker boss. Now, this was actually available inside of the previous Christmas update that we had inside of the game. You had to go through multiple waves of fighting nutcrackers, throwing snowballs at them, and it was all around a pretty decent boss fight, I'm not gonna lie. You also had to fight off Gingerbread and also some other cool stuff, and you did get some Christmas gifts rewards as an official, like, you know, reward for the boss fight. All around, I'd say this boss fight's like a 7 out of 10. It was definitely not bad. Next one I want to get into is, wow, my internet's so bad. Don't mind the terrible graphics from this, but anyway, yeah, there was a giant gingerbread boss fight that you could do inside of Build-A-Boats for the Christmas event. That boss fight right there was pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie, for the time, and I'm not entirely too sure what the reward for this was. I don't remember if it was like the winter thruster or the winter jet turbine. That made it came out earlier. It was definitely something good because it was back inside of the OG days, and those are when all the best items got added to the game, and I'm gonna cry now. Moving into the Easter boss fights that we've had, we fought the egg boss many times. This is the first original boss fight in the first form that we've ever seen it. This boss fight, I think, was definitely one of my favorites. It was also one of the first ones as well. And then we also got a different boss fight, but like the same boss fight at the same time for the king egg, and we had this one for like 2 years in a row. You know, nothing too crazy. I will rank those boss fights right there like a I'd say like a 7 out of 10. You know, I mean, they're pretty good, but they're not the best. Now let's go ahead and hop into the RB Battles boss fights, because these ones you're still able to do, and the original one I think might actually be my favorite. Original RB Battles boss fight that was added to the game, in my opinion, was one of the favorites. There was so many secrets leading up to it, and all around, I will say that this boss fight probably is a 10 out of 10, just because of the major secret that they added to get to the boss fight, and also how they connected it to this year's as well. This boss fight is basically the same thing as this year's. It's the computer boss 1.0, and this year we fought the Completer Boss 2.0. The one thing I love about the RB Battles boss fights is that there's many secrets that lead up to them, and they do a pretty good job of executing those secrets. And for those rewards, we either got the bit or the blue sword for the RB Battles event, and obviously some build-about stuff as well. Make sure to go ahead and like the video and subscribe if you guys did enjoy. Also, turn on that notification bell, and I'll see you all inside of the next one. Peace out and goodbye.